Right now, it's the 21st. It is 7:05. We don't have any members from the community or from the
Developer?
yeah. Right now, we have been presented with a letter of credit, which would end up being, you'll see the final document, the letter of the new credit balance by BME Associates, but they haven't signed this, so I assume they're going to sign it, is $1.201,532.59. There are 3 changes that I know of on this document. I'm going to go over them real briefly. I'm going to let anybody who wants to. But on the first page, 102.12, we currently have $51,450. That was originally $42,630. So the 51,450 is true. If we go to, I'll tell you where. If we go to the village, all right, the last page almost, it has section F, town guarantees, 01, 02, 03, and 04. You will find numbers 01 is now 105, 684.30, it used to be 104, 802.30, and 02 is now 31,705.29. It used to be 31,440.69. So if we flip this over to the next page, the final page, you will find $1,201,532.59. That's going to be opposed to the credit letter of balance was 1.126. Get this crossed out. 169.35. That's no longer valid. The number is $1,201,532.59. That's going to be what that's what they are presenting as their letter of credit.
For phase 2.
For phase 2.
There is a letter of credit in place for phase 1. Phase 1, correct. Yeah. Joe, do you need our mics on?
It might help. It picks up quite a bit without them, but
There we go. How's that?
perfect.
There we go. You probably heard me because it's right in front of me anyhow. All right. Now, that's what we were here to. The other thing is if we go over the meeting minutes, there's a change in our meeting minutes, and Joe, I want you to tell us exactly what the change was so that we can either say we're going to approve the change or we're not going to approve the change, and we are going to have.
Mark, do you first want to appoint Larry as a...
Good point, thank you. All right, we also have 3 people here, and we have Larry as an alternate. I'm going to ask that we appoint him. I'm going to ask that appointment be seconded so that we have a 4th vote here. Anybody with a second motion?
I second.
We have that seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? He is in place for tonight because one of our members is away who would normally hold that position. All right. Now, can you go back to us and tell us about the parking and come in there if you want to. Just tell us what we got.
So the minutes as they're written are correct based on the motions from the last meeting. But something came up after the fact when Aaron was discussing with the engineer or developer.
Yep, both, yep.
About changing the walkway, or sidewalk rather, to the clubhouse. In our motion from the meeting, and I believe Chris made the motion, it was discussed that the sidewalk would be in a horseshoe shape coming from both sides to the entrance of the clubhouse, which is how the minutes are written, because that was the motion. Aaron's discussed with them since, and maybe you can elaborate on what they
Yeah.
prefer.
So like I said, I know at the last meeting, I thought it was on record, maybe it was not, but several of you guys, at the board, kind of, like I said, I don't remember the exact terminology, but said, whatever we come up with, as long as it works, etc. So we did talk, and instead of the U-shaped going around, we have the sidewalk going straight in front of it like it was, but we have a crosswalk going to the door from the front. It will extend, the sidewalk itself, extends to, I don't know, picture it in front of me, to the grassy area, but then from the grassy area, it goes and, directly in front of the door, where the no parking marks are already currently.
I really have no problem with that. It's just a community building which won't be in use all the time. I don't see a high volume of traffic there. You're going to have a nice wide striped walkway.
And what we said in the meeting minutes here is adding additional sidewalks on both sides of the community center parking lot connecting from the development sidewalks to the entrance of the community center, and 2, incorporating the comments as noted in the email dated 3/22/2022 from Superintendent Jake Swingley and Building Inspector Aaron Thompson, as shared with the applicant and included in the addendum of these minutes. So we made a motion. Kathy Bills had seconded that. Everyone was in favor, and we passed that motion. So now I've got the question is there something that's changing on that? It would appear that there was a change.
I guess, yeah, I mean, from the U-shape to the crosswalk directly, yeah.
So I would imagine that they're pushing back because of cost.
They actually weren't pushing back at all. They were more than willing to do it.
Okay, what's the problem?
We just figured what worked best, and obviously, cost was brought into it, but they said if they have to do it, they have to do it.
Okay.
And, there was several discussions, and I know I even had a discussion, why am I forgetting?
Rick Walder.
Sorry, yes, with Mr. Walter. And he's the original one that brought it up during the meeting for the sidewalks, and he actually had agreed with the way that it's proposed now. That was kind of what he was even recommending. But yeah, that's what was talked about, and that's
Okay, so
what
we
was
don't have,
presented, so.
do we don't have a sketch plan, or Larry, you
I
don't
thought
have,
this was it, but it's not.
we don't have a site plan?
No, this is the other one.
I got it down in my office, I didn't bring it because we weren't doing anything with the site plan.
Because I really thought the intent was that walkers would be able to access the community center without stepping on asphalt. That was the desire. Now you're saying we're going to force them off the sidewalk to walk on a crosswalk on the asphalt, painted on the asphalt. Which,
Essentially, yeah.
but they're not pushing back against putting the sidewalks in the U horseshoe shape.
Oh, they said they'll do it if they have to.
Is that included in their final document for costs?
The sidewalk, that part of the sidewalk, I believe, is private, because we're obviously gonna have to maintain all the sidewalks in there, because everything's getting dedicated to us, as being the village.
Wait, we are taking dedication of the roads and everything through there?
Yeah, so we're gonna be the ones maintaining stuff.
So the letter of credit right now won't reflect the horseshoe-shaped sidewalks.
Does anybody remember what the community clubhouse is going to offer? I mean, is there a gym and that sort of thing, or is it just a meeting clubhouse kind of a? I don't
I
remember.
believe it's just a clubhouse meeting
Where
area.
you can rent
Yeah.
space or something,
Yeah.
or have a
I
party.
mean, I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know what all they're gonna offer, but. Yeah. Maybe gym would be nice, but.
Right?
But I think, you know,
Then
with all the
I can see
other
more
gyms in
traffic,
town, I
right?
think town and village, you know, I think they would go there, I don't know. But,
So this is gonna be our cost,
Well, it's
No.
a maintenance issue.
maintenance,
Maintenance.
the maintenance,
Future-
yes.
Future.
right.
Wait a minute. Since when is this subdivision get dedicated?
Since I've been here. I mean, a lot of this got done before I started working here, so I don't know, but all I know is the roads and everything are being dedicated to us.
What's their other one, Arbor Creek?
Yep,
We maintain that?
that's not in our territory, it's in the town, not the village.
Which one's that now?
Further down on the state road.
Okay, I know the one you're talking about, the other side of Phillips?
Yeah,
Yeah. But the town doesn't take that.
I
But they're gonna.
have no idea what the town does. Because I'm not involved with it, I have no idea, to be honest with
That's
you.
what people are walking against the flow of traffic.
Right.
This was seems to be one of the safer.
Absolutely, and while you're doing that, I want to give Peter a comment, an ability to comment on that.
Rick Walder, 20 Elm Street. Was originally me that brought it up to the board. The sidewalk along the street would be the responsibility, but the walks going up to the clubhouse or whatever would be their responsibility.
Right, like I said, those would be private.
Because it's like your front walk is your responsibility, but the sidewalk along the street would remain the village's when the street becomes dedicated.
Yep.
So those walks leading in would be theirs. We talked after the last meeting, and because the clubhouse is already situated on the Prince, we talked about making just the one walk across the parking lot, similar to what was done many years ago for the donut shop down on North Avenue. Because they have no walk access to the donut shop directly. There was a painted lines across the parking lot to give easement for pedestrians. And that was what would be obviously much cheaper for the developer and more practical. The ideal situation would have been to relocate the clubhouse to make the parking next to it instead of in front of it, so it would be fit more of a residential area, not it look so commercial, but it's well too late to do that.
So the parking area that's in front of the club would be our responsibility.
No, that's private.
Okay.
Anything from the sidewalk back is gonna be private.
All right, but the sidewalk is in front of the,
So
From the
this-
road,
This would be us,
basically.
and anything
Road
beyond
and
that
the,
is that.
Easement.
anything beyond that?
This side, that's the sidewalk.
Okay,
So that'd be us, and anything beyond that, so the edge of the sidewalk.
Got it.
then Private.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I did a little drawing.
thank you.
All right,
So what's the request?
eliminate the horseshoe-shaped sidewalk and just do a
Just to do the
painted crosswalk.
painted crosswalk for the remainder. Like I said, there is gonna be a little bit of a sidewalk that goes in,
Yes.
but then from that sidewalk that goes in to the front door, just painted wall.
Would that work for you?
So that little bit of sidewalk is at both sides of the driveway or just one
I
side?
believe it's just one side. Yeah.
So if we were to ask what it was we needed here and what will work and what can we finalize, because at this meeting I want to finalize it, what works?
I mean, either plan works, but the one presented, now that they have designed right now, I mean, it works. It's all, it's, like I said, it's private property anyway, so we're not going to be maintaining it. So,
So, I mean, are they making a formal request of this to alter the previous motion? Because then, is that?
I don't
that's
have
actionable?
I don't have a formal request from them. That's what he's asking.
no, right, and to be honest with you, I'll take the hit for it because after we said, get with the building inspector and, finalize the plan, figure that puts it in my hands to finalize whichever plan we're going to do as long as it works and it's safe. So, that's,
So, you told them you're gonna ask us, and if we agree with you.
no, and to be honest with you, I didn't realize we had to come back and ask you, because once you said, get with the building inspector and, basically figure it out and see what works, because there was some lengthy discussions of this last time.
Right.
So we finally said, there'll be a safe, something safe will be in there for pedestrians to walk,
Mhm.
instead of just cutting across grass and this and that and everything else. But I mean, people are gonna do what they wanna do anyway,
Right.
We're not gonna have leads on them, leading them where they have to walk. They can walk where they want. But if you guys want it formally, I mean, I guess we'll have to do that. Like I said, I'll take the hit for it, because
No, I mean,
Like Mark
Okay.
said, I think we should get this done tonight. And if you are you're our emissary between the board and them, and you've talked with them, I don't have a problem with it. That's just my opinion.
Chris, what would it sound like if you were to consider a
Well-
change?
I think, okay, so the motion in the minutes says, final subdivision plan approval with the following caveat, or with the following contingencies. Adding additional sidewalks on both sides of the community center. So now they're requesting that we unmotion that, take it off.
or I guess, or
Right.
put
So
the
I
wording in
think-
there that we're adopting the,
We're amending that.
we're amending that with the new proposed.
Right. So, I mean, why don't we just formalize this? Let them make a formal request with a sketch plan, just a simple sketch plan of the sidewalk layout for the community center. They could throw that, I mean,
We've already got it,
got what?
that plan.
Yeah, but the board
I just,
doesn't.
I just don't have it printed off because I didn't know that was going to be the discussion.
Right, okay, we're here now though, or this is the meeting, so if we had the paperwork, we can do it. They're not ready to do this right now anyway, right? I mean, they just need to know where to go. So.
Or are they
Essentially, they're
ready
putting-
to alter the plans right now?
Yeah, I mean, they've already had their engineer do it. They've already, like I said, submitted the proposal to us, or I shouldn't say proposal, they've already submitted the change to us. So like I said, I have that down in my office.
Which change? The one with the sidewalks around the building?
No, the one that we talked about afterwards.
Okay, the one with no sidewalks.
Right. Partial
The
sidewalk,
sidewalks were
partial
part
sidewalk and then the
of the
crosswalk, right?
contingency for the final subdivision site plan approval.
Right.
Now they're saying, we don't want to do that, or we'd like not to do that. So I think it needs to be formalized that says this, because that was a condition of approval. Now the condition has changed. They have to come back and say.
Well, if you want to table it for 10 minutes, I'll go down to my office. I mean, to drag this out for another month is, I'm just going to be straightforward, it's ridiculous. We're talking about a sidewalk, it's going to be safe. If you guys want to table it, continue with the rest of the meeting, approve what you need to approve, I will go print it off for everybody.
Why don't we see if we can do that?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Let's kill that right now if we can.
Sorry.
All right. So we talked about the credit letter of approval.
Mhm.
That has changed, that number has gone up.
Mhm.
It's now $1.201,532 and some change. I apologize. Does that include any changes to the sidewalk around the,
The letter of credit right now does not include the horseshoe sidewalks. It includes the crosswalk through the parking lot.
will that solve our needs?
No. Yeah, he's gonna show us the site plan.
Okay.
We're gonna push that, we're gonna.
So what we're gonna do with that site plan is we're gonna put that site plan in front of everybody. We're gonna accept a motion to approve that plan as a change to the original meeting minutes. We'll have Joe put that in there and we'll all make a vote on that. And then they can take that from there and do what they want with it.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I'm good with that. Good with that.
All right, what else have we got?
Joe, do we need to approve these minutes as minutes from that past meeting, right?
So, yeah, so the minutes as
If
written
they get changed.
were,
Well, they're gonna get changed.
well, but the minutes don't change. We have to do an amendment to the motion.
Yeah.
But the minutes as written reflect
Right.
the last
These
meeting.
minutes are correct,
Right.
right? The minutes of today will alter the prior minutes, the prior conditions that were captured in the minutes.
Okay.
Semantics, tomato, tomato.
Okay, based on that, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March 22nd.
Second.
Motion on the table and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None. The meeting minutes are approved as they are.
Okay.
Make some kind of a little comment in there that we are gonna make a change to them or an alteration to the U-shaped sidewalk, or whatever we'll call it. And now all we're waiting for is Aaron to bring back then we'll kill ourselves. Do we have anything coming on the next meeting, which would be the May meeting, as long as we got you here?
Aaron was talking to someone about getting paperwork in, but I don't have any information yet. He may be able to tell us exactly what it's for. But I only briefly heard him mention to someone about getting their paperwork in on time.
Is it residential house somewhere in the village?
I don't even know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will attending this spring local government workshop count as training hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so either of those, there's two things in your packets to do with
Right.
training. If you're interested in either one,
Did I miss them?
It's all clean, I think,
Oh, never mind.
the village will pay the cost if anyone is interested in going. The one in Batavia is actually an all-day thing.
Is that the one run by the state?
That's the Genesee and Finger Lakes Regional Planning Council.
Okay.
Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going, not. Forget about Friday, summers.
And the other one is put on by the Monroe County Department of Planning and Development.
And for those of you who don't know, this will fulfill our training requirement.
Sounds good.
The all-day one would cover everything. The other one, the intro to planning and zoning, it's from 6 to 8:15 at night, so it gives you about half of the 4 hours that you need.
Okay.
But they will have, announce a second session. I just don't have it yet.
Right. Can I just verbally let you know that I'd like to register for the Batavia one?
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oh, that's exactly what I drew. That's what I drew on your plan. I'll bring it to you. Thank you.
All right, so what we've got here is a plan, an updated plan from the contractor. Does it meet with your requirements, and do we say that this goes back to the original meeting minutes and puts this in there, and
All right, well, what I would do then, or what I'm inclined to say is, motion for site plan approval with the amended crosswalk designation as shown. And removing the previous contingencies for a horseshoe-shaped sidewalk around the community center.
okay, so put that on the table or on the floor again, and we'll bring that through. So right now, what we have is we have a new plan from the contractor. The plan has, go ahead.
A designated painted crosshatch walkway linking the sidewalk into the community sidewalk, or the future village sidewalk, into the community center sidewalk. So the painted cross-hatching is the modification to the site plan.
Sounds right.
And painted crosswalking will be the responsibility of the contractor
Yeah.
or the owner.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've got is we have a drawing to change what exists in our current, let me see if I can get them out, and I'll tell you exactly what it is we have to. Okay, there was a motion made on the 22nd, and it was by Chris, and it was made a motion for the final subdivision plan approval for the development of Phase 2 in the proposed community center with the following conditions: adding additional sidewalks on both sides of the community center parking lot, connecting the development sidewalk to the entrance of the community center. What we have right now, and going to make part of our minutes, is there's a proposed drawing from the contractor, reviewed by the village staff for the sidewalk. So what we have is do we have a motion then to approve this as it's written to Aaron?
Yes, I will make the motion for the final subdivision plan of Phase 2, removing the contingency number 1, which was adding sidewalks, and replacing the added sidewalks with the painted cross-hatching across, connecting the future village sidewalk into the community center sidewalk, as shown on the revised site plan.
Is it removing or is it amending that?
Well, we're removing the condition to
You're
add
removing
additional-
condition A,
Yes, removing the additional.
or condition
sidewalk.
1,
Yes,
okay.
and replacing it with the painted crosshatch as indicated on the revised site plan.
Remove condition 1 to represent that as in the drawing that was presented to us on the 21st of April.
Yes.
Okay, do we have a second?
We do, I'll make that.
We have a second on that. All of those in favor of that? Aye. All opposed? No opposals? The meeting minutes under the motion, section 1, were changed. Well, were added to. That make sense? Okay. And Aaron, you can take that back to them and tell them that they've had approval to do that any way they want to. I know that you were trying to do that. All right,
Thank you.
good deal. All right. We also had the Village of Webster letter of credit estimate with a 4/21 date on it. We had that come in as $1,201,532.59. That is considered going forward to be the new credit estimate. 102.12 is going to be changed as our section F, section 1, section 2. Those are going to be the changes on that. Everybody seen that? Any comments on that? Do we have a motion to approve that? And their credit balance of $1,201,532.59.
One question.
Go ahead.
Has Jake Swingley seen this and reviewed the numbers too?
Yeah, yep,
Any questions?
we actually did it together.
Okay.
All
No issues?
the changes were recommended by him and I, so.
Okay.
He's actually had input to these, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, good. So Jake has looked it over. I've looked at the numbers. When you sent them out, they're pretty typical in today's pricing, so none of the numbers are obscenely undervalued.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the Village of Webster letter of credit estimate?
Yes, I will make a motion to accept the letter of credit estimate to the Village of Webster for the value $1,201,532.59 for Phase 2 of the, what the heck's the name of this place again?
And it's dated,
Greenbrier.
it's dated April 21st.
Okay, I'll second.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. All right. So the Village of Webster letter of credit estimate has been approved as it's written and dated on 4/21/2022. Kicking that up, probably it looks like 75,000 or so, but leave it at that. We've also made an addition to the meeting minutes or an addendum to the meeting minutes on the sidewalk. So we've done that. And the only thing that we have left is there anything coming our way in May? Maybe.
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe several.
Understood.
No, spring has sprung?
Spring is definitely sprung.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
Little
we're gonna-
stuff,
Um,
garages.
Some little, some
14.
large, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully not
There's
too
really
many-
nothing, there's not a
hopefully
lot
not
of
too
meat.
many more.
No, there's no land, empty land,
No.
too
No,
much.
no, there's only a few
Right.
left, unless somebody tears down and rebuilds.
Oh.
Okay, so we've conducted the business tonight. We've approved the estimate for the credit. We've approved the addendum to the minutes from the last meeting, addressing the crosswalk near the community center. Did we miss anything?
Not at all.
Do you need anything? Oh, and just for your information here, if anybody has the opportunity, go to the training, particularly the one in Batavia. It will take you care, it'll take us through 2022.
Okay.
All right. If no one's got anything else, do we have an emotion to adjourn the meeting?
I will make that motion.
We have a motion to adjourn. We have it seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you.
Yeah.